Assalamu alaikum everyone. I hope you all are safe and you all are well. Now you have read three chapters by Goodbye Mr. Chips, and today we will start chapter number 4. Before it you have read about life of Mr. Chips after retirement. Even you are very much familiar that how he is living his past. I mean being present or being in a present age, he is thinking about past, he is recalling the memories by meeting people and passing his time. So you can see his nostalgia, I mean his nostalgic memories of Brookfield, how he appointed there, he met Weatherby, he met a lot of students, and then he got retired at the end. So you are actually getting familiar with the lifestyle of Mr. Chips. And the chapter 3 was actually this chapter was ended at a slight twist when someone talked about that he had been married, and then you realized, okay, wow, once he was married. So yeah, he was married, and in this chapter number 4 you will see how he meets his better half, and then how he is ready to get married and what happens next, why he isn't with his wife in these days. So without wasting time, let's read chapter number 4 and we'll see how he meets his wife. So here we go. There came to him, stirred by warmth of fire and the gentle aroma of tea, a thousand-tangled recollection of old times. Spring, this spring of 1896. You see, spring of 1896 is very important. You will realize why it is important. You need to keep the thing in mind. He was 48, an age at which a permanence of habits begins to be predictable. He had just been appointed housemaster with this and his classical forms. He had made for himself a warm and busy corner of life. During the summer vacations, he went up to the Lake District with Rawdon, a colleague. So in spring 1896, he actually went on a vacation to spend his vacation in some hilly area, some mountainous area to spend his days. I mean, wow, what an amazing days they were. In spring season, he was some natural place, a place filled with all the elements of nature, and then he met with someone special. Okay, let's read. They walked and climbed for a week until Rawdon had to leave suddenly on some family business. So Rawdon had to leave. I mean, they couldn't make their trip together because Rawdon had some personal business and he had to leave there. Mr. Chip stayed alone, and now he is on his own. Chip stayed on alone at Westell Head, where he boarded in a small farmhouse. One day, climbing on a great gable, he noticed a girl waving excitedly from a dangerous looking ledge. Now, there is an amazing point. Before I read more, let me tell you what kind of nature Mr. Chips had at that time. He was a person who was against women empowerment or being seeing women independent. I mean, he believes before meeting this lady, he believed that women should be dependent on men. They are subordinate, so they stayed there. I mean, he was against all the innovations or new or modern ideas that were prevailing during that time, and he mentioned earlier as well. So and then there is a human psyche. When you are standing far away from someone and you look at the person, and you try to look at him, but you couldn't, and through the gestures you comprehend what the person wanted to tell you. So when he was standing far away from the lady, he saw that the lady was waving hand, and he thought that she's waving hand because she needs some help. So he tried to help that lady. Now see what happens next. It is a very interesting chapter to me. Let's see if it is for you people or not. So, but in doing so, thinking she was in difficult, he hastened towards her, but in doing so, slipped himself and wrenched his ankle, and As it turned out, she wasn't in difficulties at all, but merely signaling to a friend farther down the mountain. She was an expert climber, better even than Chips. Wow, what an irony. I mean, you see, Chips thought that the lady actually she needed help, but it turned out that when he tried to help her, he himself met with an accident and he couldn't move. And then the lady helped him to get up on his own feet, and he realized that lady, she was better climber than Mr. Chips. She was an expert, and she was actually signaling to her friend who left behind to meet her friend. So this is how Mr. Chips met the contrary ideas of his own thinking. Thus, he found himself the rescued instead of rescuer, and neither role was one for which he had much relish, for he did not. He would have said, care for women he never felt at home or at ease with them, and that monstrous creature beginning to be talked about, the new women of 90s, filled him with horror. So you see, he was the person who was against women freedom, women empowerment, or giving them identity or rights. So he was always against them, and he hated all these new ideas because he was a conventional person who wasn't much in women's company. He hadn't enjoyed actually the modernity, you can see, or he never appreciated this concept. So he was against him. He even was against all these modern writers that he believes were responsible for empowerment of women, and he believes that these texts or these writers are they play major role in rebellious nature of women. I mean, why women rebel for their own rights? Because these men excited their you can see their desire to get noticed or to get to have individuality. Okay, so he was quite conventional person, and the world viewed from the heaven of Brookfield seemed to feel full of distasteful innovations. There was a fellow named Bernard Shaw who had the strangest and most reprehensible opinions. There was Ibsen too. So these both are the writers. You can, if you have time, go and read their writings. I mean, they wrote amazingly about rights, freedom, individuality of a woman. I mean, they showed that women are not dependent. They can be independent. Like Dollhouse by Ibsen and Pygmalion by Bernard Shaw. So you can read on your own whenever you have time. With this disturbing plays and there was this new craze for bicycling, which was being taken up by women equally with men. So you see, I mean, now women, they in during that time or even right now, they don't need men to carry them, uh, to carry these women to some places. I mean, they can move on their own. They don't need much about men. But Mr. Chips, because he believed that women should be subordinate, so he was against bicycling as well. Chips did not hold up all this modern newness and freedom. He had a vague notion, if he ever formulated it, that nice women were weak and timid and delicate, and that nice men treated them with a polite but rather distant chivalry. Now, you see, what he believed was that women remained subordinate and weak and delicate and should be treated well by men, of course. One thing is good, that men should treat women better, I mean, best, and with polite manners, but it doesn't mean women are subordinate. It doesn't mean women needs men to for their needs to be fulfillment of their needs. I mean, women can do whatever they want to. Even in a modern age, you will see that women are all over the world. They are doing everything on their own. They don't need men to pay them. But of course, you see, it is quite natural that they both have to live, and they live parallel. I mean, they both have their own weaknesses or strengths. So you cannot deny one's effort, one part, one, you cannot deny to give one's part to either women or men, so you have to accept both. But Chips was quite, a stereotype person, prejudiced towards the role of women, so it happened. So okay, I'll read few lines more and then we'll complete rest of the chapter tomorrow. He had not therefore expected uh, to find a woman on Great Cable, but having encountered one who seemed to need masculine help, it was even more terrifying that she should turn the tables by helping him. For she did, she and her friend had to. He could scarcely walk, and it was a hard job getting him down the steep track to Waysale. So you see, Mr. Chips, he was he was the one who tried to help the lady, but it turns opposite, quite opposite, that she is helping him. She is helping him to reach to his place, and letting him to stand on his own feet. So even the Chips was against, but he first time encountered such an active woman. So that is all about today. If you have any query, you can ask us in comments, or you can directly ask your teachers. You must have their IDs. You are always talking about where is our attendance, where is the link. So better to ask your concerned teacher, because no one is always, I mean, we are not always free to read comments in these chat box. But once we do read comment, if any one of you people need any help, so that we can help that student. But if you still need a problem and it is not being solved yet, what you have to do is just go to concerned teacher who is publishing everything, so you can ask her where is your assignment link or your attendance link. Okay, so still, if you have any question, again ask in comments. Whenever I have time, I'll try to respond to you people. Take care and Khuda Hafiz.